Welcome to this explainer. Okay, today we are unpacking something pretty incredible, the hidden machinery running behind literally every successful website and app you use. We're looking at the Admarg Digital Canvas program to see exactly how it takes absolute beginners and turns them into highly in-demand data tracking professionals. Seriously, it's a journey from knowing absolutely nothing about data collection to actually architecting the very systems that drive massive modern business decisions.
So here's our quick agenda for today. 1. The power of data tracking. 2. Mastering the tracking workflow. 3. The analytics tech stack. And 4. Is this program for you? Let's dive right in.
Section 1. The power of data tracking.
Now, before we can even think about building these systems, we need to understand the huge value they bring to companies. Imagine you're looking at a real-world dashboard and you capture a massive 60.5K event count along with a 32.1% increase in activity. Think about that for a second. Every single time a user clicks a button, watches a video, or adds a product to a cart, an event triggers. Basically, behind every successful website is this hidden digital plumbing catching all those exact signals. And without that plumbing, companies are essentially flying blind. They're just guessing what their users want, instead of actually knowing it for a fact.
So, tracking growth metrics like, say, a 24.5% jump in users or an 18.3% rise in conversions, that isn't just magic, right? It definitely doesn't happen by accident. Capturing this data accurately takes a highly deliberate, structured setup. If your foundation is flawed, the numbers you're looking at are flawed. And business leaders rely on these exact metrics to allocate millions of dollars in budget. That means the person setting up this tracking is literally one of the most vital players on any digital team.
Which brings us right to the core of what website tracking actually is. It's the complete end-to-end implementation of measurement plans, data layer design, and event schemas that top product teams use. You can think of it like building the central nervous system of digital analytics. It is the core infrastructure that lets a website communicate its performance back to the people running it. And this is exactly what the Admarg Digital program teaches you to build entirely from the ground up.
Section 2. Mastering the tracking workflow.
So how do you actually build this nervous system from scratch without completely losing your mind? Well, the Admarg Digital curriculum doesn't just throw random tools at you. Instead, it takes you through these 6 chronological steps, perfectly mirroring the exact end-to-end workflow that industry pros use today. And notice how implementation is all the way down at step 4? That's because professional tracking requires real planning first. You figure out what to measure in step 1, design your data structure in step 2, map out the events in step 3, and only then do you actually start building. After that, you test it in step 5 and visualize it all in step 6. It's a foolproof framework so you never get lost in the weeds.
By following that exact roadmap, you'll learn to structure a clean, totally scalable data layer before you ever touch standard or custom events. The data layer is essentially your translator between the website itself and your tracking tools. When you get this right, you make sure your data is super accurate and totally primed for automated dashboards in Looker Studio. You're not just learning a simple task here, you are literally adopting an engineering mindset for data, which ensures that when a company scales up, your tracking systems won't just break under the pressure.
Section 3. The analytics tech stack.
Okay, theory is great, right? But hands-on execution is what actually gets you hired. Here are the specific industry-standard tools you'll be using, perfectly separated for maximum efficiency. So, data collection happens over in Google Tag Manager. Think of it as a dispatcher sending data straight to Google Analytics 4, which is where the real analysis happens. But how do you know if it's all working? That's where Google Chrome DevTools jumps in for debugging and validation. And finally, you take all those complex numbers and transform them into beautiful, automated reporting workflows using Looker Studio. This right here, this is the exact toolkit of a modern digital analyst.
By learning these 4 massive tools from industry experts, using live demonstrations and guided exercises, you're going to achieve some very concrete outcomes. You'll be able to implement tracking like an absolute pro, drastically improve data accuracy for any organization, confidently debug those tracking issues when things inevitably go wrong, and create incredibly meaningful reports. You are essentially leveling up from a passive consumer of data to an active architect of business intelligence.
Section 4. Is this program for you?
Now, you might be looking at all these tools and thinking, wow, this sounds highly technical, so who is this actually for? Well, the beauty of this program is its dual appeal. Whether you're coming from an engineering background across literally any stream, or you're a management student doing an MBA or a BBA, the destination is exactly the same: industry-ready skills in a very short amount of time.
Engineers tend to love the systematic architecture of the data layer, while management students really eat up the strategic business insights those dashboards generate. It bridges the gap between technology and business strategy flawlessly.
And here is the absolute game changer. No prior coding knowledge is required. None. Zero. That is easily the biggest misconception about data tracking today. You can tackle this entire analytics implementation workflow, build those scalable data layers, and automate reporting dashboards without needing to be a software engineer or writing lines of complex code. These tools have evolved to be entirely interface-driven. That means your logical thinking and structured planning are way more valuable than knowing a specific programming language.
This whole transformative journey takes just 8 to 12 weeks. The format is built specifically for active students, featuring online classes with dedicated weekly support. You're not just going to sit there passively watching lectures, you're working on real, hands-on use cases. Plus, Admarg Digital gives you complete support for professional certification, meaning you walk away with a recognized credential that proves your capability to future employers. It's basically a highly optimized sprint toward a very tangible, in-demand career skill.
With limited slots available for these regular batches, we have to face the reality of the modern job market. Every single company out there is desperate to be data-driven, but almost no one actually knows how to build the systems to collect that data accurately. The data revolution is already here, so the only question left to ask yourself is, are you going to be the one just reading the reports, or the indispensable architect who builds them?